Winter came early that year, settling over the village like a quiet benediction. Fields lay dormant, rooftops wore frost-like crowns, and even the air seemed to whisper instead of speak. It was a season that asked the world to slow down. In a small stone house near the edge of the village lived Amma Eliza, a woman whose faith was as steady as the passing seasons. Each evening, just before night fully arrived, she lit a simple oil lamp and placed it in her window. Its glow was soft, unassuming, yet faithful. She did this every night. As the days grew shorter and preparations for the coming celebration of Christ's birth began, the village buzzed with activity. People hurried with lists and plans, lights and songs. But in Amma Eliza's home, there was no rush, only prayer. She would sit near the lamp, Bible resting on her lap, and whisper words from Isaiah. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Winter, she believed, was not empty. It was sacred. It was the season God chose for rest and for promise. One Saturday evening, when the cold pressed harder than usual, a young man walked the road outside the village. He carried more than tired feet. He carried a heavy heart. The year had been long, and the season of celebration felt painful rather than joyful. As darkness thickened, fear crept in. Then he saw it, a single lamp burning in a window. The light did not shout. It waited. Drawn by something deeper than warmth, he knocked on the door. Amma Eliza welcomed him as if she had been expecting him all along. She offered bread, soup, and a quiet place to rest. They spoke little. Some burdens do not need explanations. Before sleep claimed him, the young man asked, "Why do you keep a lamp lit every night?" She looked toward the window and said softly, "Because love must be visible. When Christ came into the world, he did not come with noise, but with light. I light this lamp in remembrance of him, and for anyone who may need to find their way." That night, the stranger slept deeply. For the first time in many weeks, his soul rested. By morning, the young man left with gratitude and peace he could not explain. But something had changed, not just in him. Word spread quietly. Others began placing lamps in their windows, not for decoration, but devotion. Not for beauty alone, but as prayer. Families who had quarreled paused to pray together. Neighbors who had grown distant shared meals again. The village began to feel different, less hurried, more united. Amma Eliza watched from her window as light multiplied across the village. She thought of the angel's words, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men." She understood then. Rest invites love. Love creates unity, and unity reflects Christ. The celebration approaching was no longer about preparation, it was about presence. On the eve of the celebration, snow fell gently, covering the village in white. Lamps glowed from nearly every window now, turning the night into a quiet hymn. Amma Eliza lit her lamp as she always had, whispering a final prayer. "Lord, let us not rush past you. Teach us to rest in your love, to welcome one another, and to shine your light together." Somewhere, a family laughed. Somewhere, forgiveness was spoken. Somewhere, someone who felt lost found their way home. And heaven rejoiced, not because everything was perfect, but because hearts were open. For this is the miracle of the season. Christ still comes, into stillness, into love, into unity.